Okay, let's get right into it. The date is January 2nd, 2026, and right now, the entire financial world is on a knife's edge. We are tracking what could be the biggest financial event in, well, modern history. So whatever you think you know about IPOs, you're going to want to forget it. This is a whole different league. $3 trillion. I mean, just look at that number. Let it sit there for a second. That's more than the GDP of most countries on Earth. It's a number so big, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. But trust me, this isn't some fantasy number. It's the new reality we're facing. And here's where that number comes from. We're calling them the big three. You've got SpaceX, OpenAI, and Anthropic, all gearing up to hit the public markets. Now, these aren't just your average tech companies. No. These are the ones building the literal foundations of our future, in space, in artificial intelligence, in everything. And their IPOs are about to release a tidal wave of cash into this system. So here's the part that really changes everything. This is the big one. For the very first time, people like you and me, everyday investors, might actually get to own a piece of that future. We're not just talking about buying a stock. We're talking about getting a real stake in the technologies that are going to define the next 100 years. This is the bull case. This is why we're all paying attention. And you know what's so telling here? This isn't some Wall Street analyst in a suit. This quote is from a regular person, an investor on a forum. It shows you the raw excitement from the ground up. People see this for what it is, a once-in-a-generation shot. They see the real business here, the fundamentals, the tangible assets, the unbelievable market position. And it's not just a feeling. Look at these numbers for Anthropic. Just look at that curve. We're talking about revenue projections that are absolutely exploding, from $5 billion to a mind-blowing $70 billion in just a few years. And this isn't a guess. This is based on real deals, real enterprise contracts. This is real money flowing in. Okay, now let's talk SpaceX, because their position is it's a fortress. Their competitive advantage, what we call their moat, is just massive. Think about it. They build their own rockets, they launch their own satellites, and then they sell the internet service from those satellites directly to you. That kind of end-to-end control is a nightmare for their competitors, and Starlink isn't some far-off dream. It's a cash cow right now, today, and it's completely dominating the satellite internet market. And if you're still skeptical, listen to this. This is the chairman of the US Federal Reserve. He's making the case that this isn't just another tech bubble. Why? Because these companies are built on real revenue and real physical infrastructure. The money being poured into just AI data centers alone is driving huge economic growth. It feels unstoppable. Okay, whoa. Hold on a second, Alex. I mean, that is a very, very rosy picture you're painting. Untouchable moats, the Fed's blessing. I gotta say, I've heard this song before. And before we all go out and take out second mortgages, I think we need a serious reality check. Because from where I'm sitting, there's some massive red flags being completely ignored here. This right here, this is the question that should be keeping every single investor awake at night. The wild excitement, the insane valuations, the promise that this time it's different, it all feels way too familiar. Are we really investing in the future, or are we just setting ourselves up to be the ones left holding the bag when the whole thing comes crashing down? You gotta love this quote. It's crude, yeah, but it cuts right through all the hype. Those incredible revenue projections Alex just showed us, they're projections. And as this person so eloquently points out, anyone can make up numbers and put them in a spreadsheet. What happens when reality doesn't quite match up with the fantasy? And look, this is nothing new. History is just littered with these moments. You had Tulip Mania, the South Sea bubble, the dot-com crash that so many of us remember. Every single time, people screamed from the rooftops. This time is different. And every single time, it wasn't. The pattern is there, plain as day. It will be incredibly naive to think we're somehow immune to it now. But you know, the financial risk, that's only half the story. Maybe not even the most important half. The real danger here lies way beyond the numbers on a spreadsheet. We're talking about the technology itself, and we're talking about who actually controls these companies. These are the risks you're not going to find in an annual report. So let's talk about the product. We're now entering the era of what they call agentic workflows. To put it simply, this means AI that doesn't just answer your questions anymore, it acts. It can carry out complicated multi-step tasks all on its own, talking to other programs, making decisions to achieve a goal. It's a massive leap forward. But here's the catch, and this is coming directly from Microsoft's own researchers. These autonomous systems are fundamentally unreliable. A tiny error at the start of a task can cascade, it can get bigger and lead to a completely disastrous outcome. Now picture that flawed technology powering a multi-trillion-dollar public company that is legally obligated to prioritize profits above all else. What could possibly go wrong? And what about control? This case study is the perfect warning sign. A VC firm poured in money, they got a seat at the table on the board, and they thought they had a say. But when a huge decision came along, selling the company, their guy was just outvoted by the founders. So public investors have to ask themselves, even if I own a share of this company, who's really calling the shots? All right, Sam, you've laid out some serious risks. I get it, and they're totally valid. But I still come back to the idea that the potential upside here is just too massive to ignore. So I guess that's the core conflict, right? This is what every single investor has to wrestle with. Look, I see this as a generational play on the absolute bedrock technology of the future.
And I see a classic valuation trap, priced for a level of perfection that will never, ever happen.
I see real revenue, real infrastructure, things that are driving real economic growth. And I see a whole lot of hype that's being fueled by circular investments, where these big tech companies are just paying each other to pump up the numbers. It feels like a giant high-stakes game of musical chairs. At the end of the day, going public is going to pour rocket fuel on innovation. It's going to accelerate progress like we've never seen.
But once they're public, the relentless pressure for quarterly profits could force them to cut corners, to sacrifice safety and control over what might be the most powerful technology humanity has ever created.
So I guess that's the final question we have to leave you with. It's the multi-trillion-dollar question for 2026.
Yeah. When you can buy a share of artificial intelligence or a piece of a rocket to Mars, who is really in the driver's seat? Is it the shareholders who just want to see a profit, or is it the founders who had the original vision? That's what you have to decide.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.